I've been studying relationships for almost 15 years now, and I just keep seeing some of the same roadblocks that get in the way of the relationships we want. When over 60% of us say that we feel lonely on a pretty regular basis, 75% of us feel disappointed with our relationships in general, there's a lot of roadblocks that we need to clear. So number 5 is a little similar to number 8. Number 8 was a desire for instant gratification, like we wanted to instantly know whether we could connect with somebody and dismiss too early. Number 5 is a little different. It's got some nuance to it. It's giving up too quickly. So this one assumes that we've been on the journey a little bit longer with somebody, but the roadblock comes in and it's something that just kind of makes us be like, oh, I don't want to do this. And we just give up too quickly. We say we want intimacy and closeness and connection, and yet so often we walk away before we can ever get there. We just turn around and leave those roads that could lead to the relationship depth that we want. We are too quick to get rid of people without being willing to experiment, without being willing to try, without being willing to practice new ways of being. So, for example, I have a lot of plants in my house. I love plants, but that doesn't mean that they're always growing and that they're always green. I have a plant behind me that's getting some yellow leaves, and I don't just throw it away because it's like getting yellow leaves. I'm going to experiment with it. Okay, so do I need to cut these leaves off? Do I need to put it by a different window? Am I watering it too much? Am I watering it too little? It's like, what's going on? Maybe I need to get some plant food and add that to it. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't have a green enough thumb that I can just instantly see that and know that. But I'm not just going to throw the plant away because it's not thriving. I'm going to start with trying to do everything I can. At some point, that plant might just prove that I can't bring it back to life and that it's dead. And the crazy thing is I could probably hand it off to somebody else at that point and they probably could bring it back to life and have it be a beautiful plant. But I don't know if I can do that, but I'm going to do everything I can until that point. Some of us are giving up way too quickly. As soon as the leaves are yellowing or brown or some of the leaves are falling off, we're just like, you know what? This isn't working for me anymore. And it doesn't mean we have to hang on to every relationship in our lives when it doesn't feel good, but we sure have to learn how to hang on to a few of them, because at some point, most of our relationships aren't going to feel good. And we have to know how to experiment. It's okay. It's not their problem or our problem if leaves are turning yellow. It just means we need to start asking questions and start saying, what does this plant need? What does this relationship need to thrive a little better? How could I possibly bring this thing back to life? How could I make sure I'm not just tossing plants on the regular, but actually have a house full of beauty and green and nature? Yeah, it's going to be experimental. It's not going to be perfect. But one of the roadblocks that's getting in so many of our ways is the giving up too easily. Where can you pause today and experiment with something different? What would it look like to you to move the plant to a different window? What would it look like to you to find plant food and see if that's the issue? What experimenting can you do that might help you see if a different response is needed to help bring flourishing? We can't give up too easily. If we keep giving up, then we're going to be left in a house without plants. We don't want that. We need connection. And so we're going to have to experiment to get there.